I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, construction has officially started on a $25 million state-of-the-art headquarters building for the PromoTech companies. And with the new facility comes 300 jobs. Prime Minister Mia Motley has given the endeavour her blessings. Shane Jones reports.
Prime Minister Mia Motley has called PromoTech's move to build a new and fully automated headquarters next to Sheraton Mall in Christchurch an absolute statement of confidence in the future of Barbados' economy. Ms. Motley was the featured speaker at the groundbreaking ceremony on the site of the $25 million new headquarters. She says the investment takes the corporate level in Barbados to a new dimension.
Nobody goes to invest $25 million at this point in time unless they believe they can get a return on that investment. And to have this investment contextualized not just by the scale of the investment, but also the purpose of the investment, by carrying us to a new level with respect to how we build out our buildings, what we build them out for, and how they interact or how we interact with them is absolutely critical.
Ms. Motley praised the technological proposals for the headquarters and embraced the recognition that an office is much more than just a desk and chair designated for work.
I believe that the ability to have persons recreate while still at their workplace is a critical component in getting the best out of our people. Technology is a tool. That's all it is. And we know that that tool can be used for good or it can be used for evil. It is our intention in this country to be able to allow all Barbadians to accept that technology and Wi-Fi are public goods that should be readily and fairly accessible to each and every Barbadian.
Chief Executive Officer of PromoTech, Calypso is excited about the project.
During construction, this site is going to employ approximately 300 people. Completed, it will be at least a $25 million tenanted investment. 31,000 square foot of building, and the new PromoTech headquarters is going to be housed over here, occupying half of this building. Our intention is to lease the other half to like-minded, forward-thinking businesses. It doesn't have to be technology. If you don't have any technology in your business or your home, come and talk to me. I will prove you wrong.
The building will be fully automated.
Now our offices, this is the cool part, Google style, rooftop lounge with a beautiful South Coast view. When you get up there, it's spectacular. The breeze, the view, it's amazing. It's going to have a kitchenette in this 4-story building and extracurricular activities such as table tennis and foosball, all for the staff of our team and hopefully the tenants. We're going international.
Cafe 195 is part of the PromoTech group of companies, and Mr. Pardesani says part of the investment is opening a new location for the restaurant at Sheraton Mall. Shane Jones, CBC News.
Thanks, Shane. Prime Minister Mia Motley says government could be moving to bring legislation to allow for full transparency regarding the setting up of offshore medical schools across the island. She says Barbados has the potential to be a hub for top-class educational and medical services. The Prime Minister was speaking during the media launch to mark the establishment of the newest medical school, Ross University School of Medicine, at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. Officials are hoping to have the school up and running by January 5th, 2019. It will cater to about 1,500 students. It will have 100 faculty, around 200 other staff members. The Prime Minister says the benefits to Barbados will be tremendous, and she is estimating the economic activity generated from the university could be in the vicinity of $100 million. Students and staff could find accommodation at the villages at Coverley, which has a further 400 homes still under construction. Ms. Motley has revealed that the campus will be located on the compound of the LESC.
We took a decision to lease the building behind us at Sherburn. This building was to have been the site for government's offices, in particular the Prime Minister's office, the Government Information Service and others. And we've agreed that we believe that putting Ross there will bring a far greater economic return and would be a far better fit
for the people of Barbados and having the Prime Minister in offices there. As a result, some 81,000 square feet in that building and another 10,000 square feet where the Ministry of Tourism is in this building will be released so as to allow Ross to have its full presence in this one location here at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center as the new campus for Ross University Barbados.
Well, the university is relocating to Barbados from Dominica following the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria last September. It is the biggest offshore medical university to be established here. Adtalem Global Education is the parent company of the university, and President and Chief Executive Officer Lisa Wardell says they are happy to be in Barbados.
We made our first visit to Barbados to explore new locations on May 31st. Just 3 months later, we have come to an agreement to relocate the school, which could only happen with a leader and a government with a bias to action to advance education and healthcare in Barbados. The teams at RUSM, as we affectionately call the Ross University School of Medicine, and the students are Rossies, you'll learn that too, and Adtalem are thrilled to be here in Barbados. RUSM just celebrated their 40-year anniversary and have graduated more than 14,000 doctors, many of whom serve as primary care physicians in low-resource communities.
In less than an hour, 8 of Barbados's premier Calypsonians will be seeking to stop iWeb from getting a 4th CAISO crown when the courtesy Mount Gay Piccadilly Crop Finals gets underway at Kensington Oval. Now, CBC asked Barbadians what they thought about the competition and who would come out on top when the points are tallied. Many told us that they haven't been following the music this year, but those that did shared their thoughts.
I'll say iWeb, he's a good performer. I have confidence that he can defend the crown confidently. I have confidence in him that he would do that. And also, I'm sure the Calypsonians, they have the quality that they would put on a good show tonight.
iWeb and Donella, them is my 2 favorites. Yeah. Yeah. Should be an excellent show. As long as they rain don't fall.
I think it's going to be great because all Calypso, I heard so far is nice.
You have any winners?
No, I can't say right now. I like all. I like all. All is good.
It is a good competition, I could say. And I think Adrian Clark going to win it. Followed up by King Kitside.
AC, a structure. 2 good songs they have.
While most 4-day bands will be preparing to go on the road in the next couple of hours, one band will be taking their party to the beach. Mudslide Band, which has been part of 4-day for the last 7 years, is taking a different route this year as they prepare to host a private 4-day experience. Partners of Mudslide, Paul Marshall and Kamal Clark, listed a couple of reasons why they've decided to change their approach this year.
To go on the road right now is a lot more expensive than to have a party. So one of the things that we are concerned about with 4-day is security, and but also to listening to our people.
Yeah, what our people really want.
Our people have asked us to give them a different experience, and we know there are a number of other people doing their own thing. And I mean, we are in beautiful Barbados. This is our home, 246. We are on the beach. It's perfect to let the visitors that are coming to this island also experience beach juve.
Well, the pair noted that there has been an overwhelming response to the new event, with patrons contacting them to buy packages as recently as today. However, despite the positives, the group added that there could always be a return to the traditional 4-day experience if that's what their patrons want. And a number of traffic changes will be in effect from tonight until Monday to allow for the staging of several cropover events. Sharika Griffith has those details.
There are no traffic changes for people attending the Piccadilly Crop Finals at Kensington Oval tonight. However, patrons are encouraged to use the park and ride systems provided by the Transport Board. These will be based at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Centre and the Queen's College Secondary School. The Spring Garden Highway will be closed to all vehicular traffic from 10 p.m. on Friday to 8 a.m. on Saturday to facilitate the 4-day morning jam. Patrons leaving the Piccadilly Crop Finals should therefore use Fontabelle Road, at which point they're permitted to turn left onto Kensington New Road, Lakes Folly, Prince William Henry Street, or High Street. However, the roadway beyond High Street will be closed to vehicular traffic. The 4-day morning jam will also result in the closure of the following roads: Bay Street from its junction with Chemmots Lane, Crumpton Street, Constitution Road, John Beckles Drive, Bridge Street, Independence Square, Wharf Road, and Harbour Road. Motorists travelling out of the city can do so via Fairchild Street, onto Bay Street, and finally onto Chemmots Lane. As it relates to Bridgetown Market, the Spring Garden Highway will be closed to all vehicles from its Holborn Junction to Brighton Junction from midday Saturday until 5 a.m. the following morning, and then again from midday Sunday until midnight. On Monday for Grand Cadoumet, Codrington Road will be closed to all vehicular traffic, as only music trucks will be allowed to park in that area. The route from the National Stadium to Spring Garden will also be closed to vehicular traffic. This includes Station Hill Road, Bank Hall Road, Eagle Hall Road, and Blackrock Main Road to the Frank Worrell roundabout. The Spring Garden Highway will once again be closed to vehicular traffic from 7:30 on Monday morning straight through until 9 o'clock that night. The Sanitation Service Authority will commence cleaning the parade route after the last band has left the National Stadium. Police traffic management will remain in place until the entire route is cleaned. The travelling public is encouraged to comply with the directions given by police officers on duty, who will be regulating traffic. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Businessman and chairman of the Goddard Group of Companies, Charles Herbert, has stepped down as head of the Barbados Private Sector Association. Confirmation of this from Chief Executive Officer of the association, Anne Reid.
Today, Mr. Charles Herbert resigned as chairman of the Barbados Private Sector Association. We thank Mr. Herbert for his valuable contribution to the work of the umbrella body of private sector associations, to the social partnership, and also to the private sector generally in Barbados. In the interim, Mr. Edward Clark, Executive Vice President and General Manager Barbados Sagicor Life Inc., and the President of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, BCCI, will lead the business of the BPSA until such time that a chairman is elected at the annual general meeting scheduled to take place in September.
Well, Mr. Herbert is one of 3 accused recently charged in connection with a drug haul on board a private vessel. There's an appeal for government to honor a commitment made by the previous administration to improve working conditions for domestic workers. It's coming from General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Senator Tony Moore. She says back in 2011, the then Minister of Labour had pledged Barbados' support to the International Labour Organization's Convention on Decent Work for Domestic Workers.
That conference adopted a convention, Convention 189 on decent work for domestic workers. At that time, our Minister of Labour, our Ministry of Labour, had committed that Barbados will be one of the first Caribbean countries that would ratify the convention, putting it into law so that domestic workers, like all other workers, would enjoy protection under the law.
And Senator Moore was speaking ahead of the union's annual delegates conference, which kicks off in a matter of weeks. The union's industrial relations officer, Shakita Williams, says they will be recognizing one deserving domestic worker with a champion award.
How often do we hear anybody recognizing their gardener or their housekeeper or their babysitter or even pet sitter? And these domestic workers, it is time that they are recognized. It is time that protection is put in place for them. Currently, our legislation is not protecting these workers. And if we are talking about a future with a difference, we have to look at the informal economy. We have to look at our domestic workers. So we are asking the public of Barbados, employers of domestic workers, friends, families, and members who just see domestic workers and believe that they are outstanding and that they should go noticed and that they should have some means of recognition, to come and asked for a nomination letter to nominate these domestic workers.
100 years old and literally still kicking. CBC's Tristan Ward has more from a special occasion at the Surfside Wellness Center this morning.
Asuma Marsh is Barbados' newest centenarian and definitely a candidate for the most active. A gym member since 1985 with Radiant Health Club and then with Surfside Wellness Center, Miss Marsh makes sure she stays fit at least 3 times a week. Today, the Surfside Wellness Center and a number of its members danced and celebrated her milestone.
We're truly blessed to have you with us here today, and we are honored that you've chosen to celebrate this momentous occasion here with us at Surfside Wellness Center.
Miss Marsh also received a visit from the island's Governor General, Dame Sandra Mason, who she knows personally. Dame Sandra described the centenarian as an inspiration.
Any morning I feel like, oh my goodness, I don't really go. I think about Miss Marsh climbing those stairs, and I make sure that I get up and I come. So, you know, on behalf of all of us, we all want to wish you a marvelous day.
The former seamstress and mother of 2 credits her regular exercise for her continued independence and quality of life. She says she never planned to just stay at home after she retired.
That is how I joined here after I retired. You know, I thought, well, I won't sit down and turn stupid. I come in and do something, you know, to help me, and I'm glad that I did, because it helped me a lot, you know. I got a little aches and pain every day, but I try to push it off. You know.
Miss Marsh plans to continue showing off her dance moves as long as she possibly can, and with Kadooment Day around the corner, you can find her on Black Rock Main Road watching the parade. Tristan Ward, CBC News.
Well, that has to be my favorite story so far this year. Happy birthday, Miss Marsh. And now to this one. A 2-vehicle smash-up in St. Philip early this morning pressed ambulances and fire tenders into action to help a dozen people who needed medical treatment. Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Inspector Rodney Innes, stressed that the mass casualty situation at Dodds Land, St. Philip, involved a motor van driven by 48-year-old Kenneth Ashby of Water Street, Christchurch, and a motor vehicle driven by 29-year-old Keisha Fox, an American visitor staying at Eagle Hall in St. Michael. Police say both vehicles were traveling along Dodds Road in opposing directions around 10 minutes after 1 in the morning when they became involved in a collision, and that resulted in injuries to several people. Reports are that 5 ambulances responded, 4 from the ambulance service and 1 from the Barbados Defence Force. Now, CBC understands that 2 fire tenders and 8 personnel also responded, and over 10 people complained of various injuries as a result of the collision. Now, 7 were transferred to the QEH, 2 classified as serious, while the other 5 suffered minor injuries. Reports are that 3 people were treated and discharged at the scene. Both vehicles were extensively damaged. In St. Lucia, police have arrested a man wanted in connection with murder during the Gros Islet Carnival. The suspect was caught while jumping.
The police were on high alert at the afternoon session of Monday's Gros Islet Carnival. Their numbers were beefed up and were everywhere to be seen. This was in response to the earlier shooting at the Jouvet. First, the afternoon event was cancelled, but later it was reinstated. It was felt that a few criminal-minded individuals should not spoil the fun of the hundreds from far and wide who came to participate in the carnival. This increased vigilance paid off when they caught a suspect who was wanted in connection with the murder on Monday of 32-year-old Janik Stanislas. The suspect is believed to have just returned from prison and sought to recommence his old relationship. That, according to those familiar with the matter, was not going well. Being wanted by the police in connection with a murder did not deter this reveller from coming to play mass. He may have received more than he bargained for. The suspect may be soon on trial for murder. Janik Stanislas was discovered dead inside a home on Monday, July 30th. Reports claim that the alleged perpetrator may have been implicated during the shooting incident.
Over to Guyana now. First Lady Sandra Granger is pushing for the establishment of daycare centers across the country for both senior citizens and children. Kristen Mackingham reports.
Too often, when the elderly are left by their loved ones at private institutions to be cared for, they end up feeling cut off from society and sometimes depressed. That's why First Lady Sandra Granger wants focus to be placed on establishing daycare centers at the regional level for the elderly.
I really feel very strongly that in our country, people tend to look at child care and senior care as something women do. And so if they employ you to look after the child, they expect you to cook and clean and wash up and do all this or other things. But this tells people you have been trained to do a specific job, right? It gives you recognition for the position. And this, I feel very strongly about.
First Lady Sandra Granger addressing the gathering at a graduation ceremony recently where 34 women successfully graduated from a Care for the Elderly program. She says that more thought and care needs to be put into how society views and treats older folks, especially those who have to rely on caregivers to do necessary tasks for their health and well-being.
The older people will see the young kids, they play, and then they'll see people going about their business, so they're not isolated and left at home while the other members of the house go to work or go to school or whatever. So that it's really aiming with that aim in mind. So I hope we can take it out of council.
The First Lady also explained that on numerous occasions, when a female individual is employed as a caregiver, other tasks are allotted to them, tasks that do not fall under the job description of a certified caregiver.
We have a peek into the world of sports just ahead, but before we get to that, here is a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
During a hurricane, listen to the radio for continuous updates on the progress of the system. Cooperators General Insurance, helping you to be prepared this hurricane season.